then, well, you stand up, you form groups, and then you come up with the complete story. Use well, it's got to follow a logical sequence, obviously, but you need to talk. You need to tell your partner what that part of your story is about. So I like it because well, it's different. It's not boring. People interact. You have a role. You have a say, right? You cannot keep quiet. You cannot leave the room or the session, for example, because if you do, well, the story will not be completed. That's a fact. Okay, so this is jigsaw reading. You look, and it's the same site. The same. Yeah, this BBC, British Council. This one has got very nice articles. Let me tell you. Okay, so but let's go back to your text. Uh-huh. Which are, if you could pull out some elements of cooperative learning based on that experience and based on the learner's roles and the teacher's role, what would those features be that are appealing to you, that you feel that are very good? Can you tell me? Go ahead, volunteers. Is it frozen? Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Frozen, frozen? Or you guys are processing ideas now? Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fritz. Thank you, Fritz. I knew you were there. I was joking. I knew you were there, but you were quiet. Huh? Hmm. Why did they have to move to a different group? And what was their job? Just, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, let me ask you this question. Did how many groups were formed, by the way? Because this is important. How many groups were formed? And did every group have the same story? Did every group have the same story?
No, they didn't, teacher. They
Okay,
were
they did.
different.
Uh-huh. They had different parts of the story. Okay, so this is pretty similar to what I just mentioned to you, right? Uh-huh. And they were in groups of six, correct? At the beginning, they were in groups of six. How many students were there in
Yeah.
that class?
Yes, teacher.
How many students were there in that class? Uh-huh. Hello? How many students were there in that class? And there were groups of six. Do we know?
20. No, I'm
There
not
were
sure.
20. How many rounds were there? Because they have to move to a different group. How many times did that happen? Mm-mm. There's something I'm reading here that says the third time you will return to your the third time you will return to your original groups.
So we're two.
So the third time, and they moved to, so that means that they moved to three different groups. How many were they in all?
18th.
18? Is that correct? There were 18 students. Hello? Mathematics. 36 students? Uh-huh.
I think they were 18 because it was three times. It means
And
there
groups
were
of
three
six.
groups.
There were three groups of
Uh huh.
six, and they moved to three groups only. Is that right? They moved to three groups. Obviously, you move to a group, and people from that group moved to another group, and there were three remaining, correct? But there were around 18,
Yes.
probably. Probably around 18. Okay. Did everybody have the time to move around? Yes. Yes, everybody had the time to move around. And then they came back to the original group. Okay, so they had the opportunity to interact with different people. Now, my point here is, why did they move to those groups? What were they going to do? What was their task? Did they have a task?
Yes, teacher.
Exactly.
Because they had each group has different part of the story, so
Yes.
they were asked to collect the vocabulary from each part, and then when they
Yeah.
return to their groups, their original groups, they would share their what they collected in the other groups, talking about
Hmm.
vocabulary.
But there's something else here apart from telling them about that section of the story that they received. They were going to do something else. What was that? Because there was new vocabulary. So they were going to uh-huh
Teacher gave
teach,
us
practically
like a
teach.
test.
Uh-huh. No, but they were going to teach the new vocabulary to them. What if they
Yeah, the
didn't know the
teacher
meaning?
says it
Uh-huh.
is like
What if they didn't know the meaning? What could they have done? Or what were they asked to do? Two things. They
They
could
they were
either
asked to look for the words in the dictionary or ask
or
the teacher.
or ask the teacher. And
Ask
did
the
they
teacher.
okay,
Hmm.
and ask okay. And did the teacher give them a time limit for the task to be performed? In 10 minutes? Now he said in 10 minutes you will form new groups. Three of you will move to another group, and three of you will stay where you are, and others will join you. Uh-huh. But was there any time limit for that activity? Is it given there? How long was this activity? Approximately 10, 15, 20 minutes? Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was
I
not
like
that long.
15
I'd
because
say
Okay, not
20.
long. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there is a worksheet that they received. What was that about?
I think it was like to determine whether they learned or not the new vocabulary acquired by their
Okay.
peers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now there is a part in which there are words of encouragement, and this is very positive, right? There are words of encouragement, and obviously you encourage somebody because you want this person to be successful. Now, can you tell me some of those words of encouragement that were expressed, that were uttered?